change my mind. What is getting deep now? What is getting deep now? Follow me around.
Who's going to be first?
Can you let me down? Please don't let me down. Yeah. Baby, let me down.
Here we go. We must be getting close now.
Can you let me down?
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be a member? Is it going to be someone new to the channel? Hey, Hamudia, how you going, mate? And ABF, Attack by Fire, how you going? Thunder and Lightning. Sounds like a big night on the curry, and we've got 2 arms out there from Ham, which is not to be mentioned around the Islamic faith. Drunk Aussie, wish I was. Lauren is shining, been hard to get hold of you today, followed by the ladies with Kirsten below, and we've got Proto below. Jack, not what you want to be in the military, but that's fine too. Because what would Jill do without you? Go up and get the bucket herself? Tony Young son, won't be young forever, mate. And Peter Cram it where? Daniel Cherry, lost his cherry. Well done to you, sir. And Country Road, take me home to the place I belong. Benji P, Kale Chiswick, Giuliano Sticker. Now I want a pizza. Chronic,
What is getting deep now? What is
Guardian, Second Seven, The Lurker. I've been one before, Ryanopoulos. And RB Iceberg. Righto, let's get into it. Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and this is about 24 Platoon. Because 24 Platoon are about to diddy mow from the village if they're in Nam for their first or second tour, which they're not. Vietnam veterans, Nutsu Cow for your big day. And the Long Tan Day on the 18th that just went by. Glennie Jones, good to have you here. 4 thumbs from Grid as the Lance Corporal. And we've got Jake C there. Enlistment Day locked for the 25th of January. We'll get to you soon enough, Peter Cram. But today is not about you. You get to see what the others go through as they prepare for what their last meal is going to be. KFC maybe. Send it with Shan. I don't think I've seen you before. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. The Forever channel, the Australian channel. The one that answers your voice at sometimes the cost of our streaming health, if you know what I mean. Lauren, please leave a thumbs up. Okay, she's giving you the call out there to pay the toll to the ferryman, which is a thumbs up to say g'day. And if you think about becoming a member, do that, because we've only got 11 members until we hit the 100. And you want to be in the top C, as the Romans would say. CCs, you can't say no to that. We just had someone get in Patreon, CCI, 201. Well done to the Patreon. Can't wait to go back out and represent you guys real soon. As soon as Aaron, the Hitman Dixon, gets out of his own self-proposed, what do you call it, quarantine with his Xbox. Dusty Roads, Peter. Spartan Mouth. G'day, Kaz. Didn't catch the second part of the last stream. That's all right. Had some schoolwork to do. You got the Spartan Mouth. It's fine. You can tell me the way it is. I hope you did well with school. We got some really good results today with the Ram, with Tony Ram, the battering Ram. He just got told when he thought that there was getting ready for some bad news. Hey, are you ready to go in the next 2 weeks? But there's been a change. He's not going in his army now. He's going as Thunderbirds. Help me out. He's going as RAF. Intelligence Corps. Fantastic for him. Well done, mate. We've got the Dark Shadow McLeod. I can't wait for when I go in. The wait is the worst thing of a military career, mate. It always has been. Even before you go overseas, before you go to course, before you go to Tully, before you go to a wet high range, etc. Matty P. G'day, buddy. Nicholas Metcraft. G'day, mate. Great to have you on board too with us there on Patreon, mate. Thanks very much. I hope you got your message. Looking forward to a chat to you on the bat phone when you get the opportunity. Hey, Kaz, do you remember me? It's me, Preston. Preston's a good name too. That can be a name for a male or a female, which makes it handy and attractive to all. Mr. Bryce, we got your message today, and we'll read that out. I'm not sure if you're on the medication at the moment, because you've already given us that message this month on the 3rd of August, and we read it all out again on the 3rd of August. I'm not sure if you realised. Jake C leaving in 4 days, probably gone for 7 to 8 months with all these border restrictions and no graduation Christmas leave. You get Christmas leave. Any tips leaving the partner and dog for so long? They'll be fine, mate. That's just a modern dilemma, you know. It can suck, but you're going there to create a better life for your family. You know, you'll get back before then, mate. Guaranteed. Dane Smith, the great Dane. G'day, Kaz. Been a hot minute since I've been back here. Marched out of Kapooka last week. Well done. Have been at Latchford Barracks for almost 2 weeks. Dane, tell us. Is it everything we've said? I know there's some restrictions. I know we're in 2020. I know that it's training with a twist, so to speak. I know it's hard for them to maintain the slap of institutional change. But it's happening everywhere across the world. So don't worry about it. And you're going to get some sort of surprises throughout training, throughout the rest of your life as well. So it's all right. It's the way we react to it. Nick, not so cow. Thanks for the buck. Looking forward to that. Cameron Barnes. For all those who've seen Platoon, there's some promotions getting ready to come your way too soon, guys. Matthew Andrew. That's the most confusing name you could possibly have. If you join the army and they yell out the name, what's your surname? Andrew. No, your surname. That is my surname. What's your first name? Matthew. 2 first names. Bill Lear. G'day, mate. Kale. Aaron Hazelton. Good to have you here there, mate. Getting promoted soon. And the world of Doro 789. G'day, team. Mr. Bryce, sorry, buddy. Meds, exactly. It's all right, man. I've been on the drugs that killed River Phoenix. It's hard to come back from them. And what we're going to do right now, because we've got some people that aren't normally here for this, is throw our introduction out before we talk about what's going on in the thumbnail at the back. Hey team, how we going? It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and as you can see by the lay over the background, I'm looking out for the sailors tonight. Guys and gals, we've got a few of our 343 buddies also sharing a light beer between themselves up in the Queensland, the Sunshine State, so to speak. So to those guys that can't even type, g'day, lift a glass, you my brothers, miss ya, and I've got something special coming your way soon enough. 24 Platoon, it's time to go. It's time for you guys to start planning your last meal, doing your last shift at whatever your employment is at the moment. Time to put the tools down, including your tool, save that up for the missus for the last day, and get ready to go into quarantine before you start the run-up to your big adventure, because that's what service is all about. Doing something different. The final frontier. Going where your ears are not painted on, they must listen. Where your eyes are not buttons, they must see. But we're there with you. Be it from air conditioning, heater, and a comfortable lounge watching Netflix or Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. But tonight is all about you, 24 Platoon. We've had some good news today, so let's hear it. See you soon. Or right now, actually. There we go, team. So I always like to give you a little bit of an introduction, because otherwise I can forget to do it. And everyone is welcome to the Australia channel, the Forever channel. Good on you. Dom Macca, any prediction to when the March Out parades will be back? They will not be back until the end of COVID. Just, if you're going to join the army, accept the fact you're not going to have a March Out parade, right? T.Y. Lopez, and you'll be fine with that, because guess what? That's an extra bit of time for you not doing drill in the last week, where you get to do minimum amount of drill with no forms, just right dress, march around, turns on the march, and then a quick inspection maybe before you go back, and then have a few cans of beer, the beverage of your choice. Vermin broth is not my choice anymore, or a Coca-Cola, then a good sleep before you head off on Monday and go to the version of high school. Specific training, skilled training, your new family. Dom Macca, okay, yep, we saw that one. Guardian, never trust a man with 2 first names, so I've heard, or 2 last names hyphenated, because that means he might have 2 dads. Don't sit on the fence, make a choice, which one's better. Declan, g'day, buddy, how you going? Dark Shadow, anyone know if they will be sending more people out to Kapooka after September? Of course they will. But what it means is there will be split sessions. If you don't finish your Kapooka session over the Christmas period, you'll be a split session where you'll go home. Or who knows what's going to happen actually with COVID. Will they send you home and then go through quarantine again for the cost of millions of dollars across Australia? I don't know. They're not going to let you just sit there in your own filth and become the worst version of you and let everything slide. So I reckon they will send you home. But that might mean you go through a double period of quarantine again. We've got the guys, Big Dave. He's doing his course at the moment, his Army Reserve Officers Kapooka course. And he's been told that he has to go into quarantine again before going home to Queensland. So that's added another 2 weeks onto his training. I hope his boss is good with that. I don't believe so. I'm going to Kapooka end of October. There we go. Lauren, how exciting for the next wave. It is very exciting. It's so easy when you're part of this channel as often as what we are, that you take for granted that every single platoon, every single name down here, wait a sec, that everyone is an individual case. Every name, Dane Smith, Matthew Andrew, Guardian 2-7, Michael Stott, he's out now, Nicholas Metcalf, Daniel Cherry, Coca-Cola, Dentist Choice, every time, the operational morale friend, 375 millilitres and 375 reasons to be happy again with those bubbly suds. Put it on your ass for the real effect. Anyway, I digress. Every one of you is an individual case, is an individual chapter, an individual journey, an individual book that has a different ending. So sometimes we get caught up with which plankton, was the most special to you. It can be hard because there's a lot of you. And the fact that they're not real names, a lot of them are AKA names, means although I can come across like a character, but this is who I am really, it's exactly what I'm like, I have a hard time understanding what your actual personality is if you're not part of the bat phone, so to speak, because I don't hear the conversation that your ability to converse with me and tell me what your dreams, hopes, and restrictions and dramas are. So it's hard for us to do that, and that way you can end up becoming a sea of names that just continually, the waves keep coming. As some of you enlist, another group comes. And then another group gets to 18 years old, and then another group comes, and the waves keep coming until eventually you're all going to kind of know each other. Whether it's through employment, whether it's through being a sheepdog, or whether through it's being part of In the Trenches with Kaz. So welcome to whichever one of those multifaceted versions of your journey most resonate with you now. Attaboy. G'day, mate, and thank you for what you do for other people in chat, Addy. Lauren, Brady Cars, the love affair continues. Proto says 343 is the ECN for Rifleman Infantry Soldier now. It has been for more than 30 years. So that's what it is, 343 life. Don't get it mixed up with 343 enterprises or industries that works in and around the Halo and online cookies, etc. So we're different, we're better. And this is some of the hints of the prototypes. Those flags, imagine they're going to be replaced with Australian flags. I'm not going to give you the look of the whole stuff. The dice there, not so much. But one thing I will tell you, although these are shirts that are outlined to be worn, appreciated as a simple design shirt as you get older, and for those that have served in the 343, it's for anyone. It's 343 life, which means sheepdog. Do you resonate with the sheepdog? This is a shirt you can wear as you mow the lawn, go to the pub, train. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a sneak hint into there's going to be merch coming out that you'll want to wear. You cannot wait to go to bed, so you get up to try on another one. We'll have only a few colours. We're not going to get exotic. We're going to stick to manly colours like red. Red for aggression, red for anger, red for let's get out of bed right now. Okay, and shirts with purpose that won't look good until they've got a bit of grease, even if it's chicken grease, if you're not a mechanic. 343. It's the way I live my life. Yep. Just over half my life now was in infantry. That's just recently happened. 24 years infantry. Okay, 25 years civilian. Okay, till 3 years Army Reserve as well. Pop Vinyls, g'day mate. Hey mate, Mum marches out tomorrow. I'm actually confused, I guess. I like, you might watch it. Good. It won't make say good day to your mum for me. It won't make any difference to your employer, Josh. 11 platoon, best platoon. That was my platoon too, Dane. But today's about 24 platoon. Hello, Satchet. Tanduka. What? Says Mr. Patterson. How you going, mate? Look, it's gone to his head since he got promoted again. Teeman, great chat last night. Sorry I was in the bathtub talking to you for so long. Definitely recommend the Bat Phone. Was having a one-on-one chat. I was in the bath last night, spoke to Termy for nearly an hour. He must have started to think, can I please get off the phone now, Kaz? If you need one-on-one mentoring, it is in your best interests to go to Patreon and get in that link so I can speak to you one-on-one, especially if you're in a dilemma. Especially if you are on a island where you feel like there is no one around you that's giving you what you need or supporting what you're going to do. Okay, and that way we have one-on-one conversation. You get it concentrated. Cotties. It's a cordial that I like best. Send it with Shan. Which job role gets the to ride dirt bikes? There is. Send it with Shan. There is. Engineers, I believe, I think they do. And MPs definitely do. Part of their course is doing monos, so you can get over obstructions and logs. Howdy, says Hard Yak with his hard hat. Joshua, thank you, Lauren. G'day, mate. G'day, Michael Stott. How you doing, brother? It's the Raffy's looking green. It's like a change around. You're turning green, and we've got ex-soldiers turning blue as they become moderators. Don't like Michael Stott. At least they won't have to walk up the stairs. Flubber and friends. Hey, Kaz, how are we? We're pretty good today, mate, except for the fact I'm starting to get used to the idea I'm probably not going to be able to do the Donald Trump Invitational, which was people that are politically minded, okay, that we're all going to come to my place and share the moment as DT Commander-in-Chief, not Dick Togs, gets up for his second term and makes the world this time greater again. I think we need him real bad at the moment. Was it a video chat? No, it wasn't a video chat in the bath there, Lauren. Lauren sent me a video this morning. It was a lovely one of her big shaggy wolf hound. Don't worry, don't try and sort it out, you sheepdog. Okay, it was a wolf hound. It's not there to hurt. Big fluffy boy. William Crass, g'day Billy, how you going? Hey, Kaz, the way some state governments think they are bigger than the national interest, maybe it's time the army stepped in and took control. Yeah, that would be probably a bad thing, but mate, and I hate to tell you, but the military has never agreed wholeheartedly with our government, so to speak. Toddy Vlogs, hey Kaz, what are your thoughts on the role of artillery operator? I've never been a fan personally, but I've also been in competition with them guys. We don't do the same roles at all, but artillery and infantry don't tend to get along. Oil and water, so to speak. But that's fine. There's something about their role that there's a real beauty in it. Just like mortars and just like DFSW, there is a skill set that you can perfect. There is the right way to do it. And when you can do it right, it doesn't matter how fast you are, you can only travel at the speed of the line officer that comes, then checks the details, second checks and says, yep, hand up, the battery's ready to fire. But it is something that you can perfect. It is highly competitive between the guns as well. So you'll get, don't mind the pun, gun crews, and champion guns, etc. They used to be some of the hardest working men in the military. I just think their rank structure sucks. And I could advise them on how to do their job a little bit better when it comes to integrating in the rest of the army, etc., especially in line with the forward operators, the observers, sorry. Ben Fisher, how's it going, Kaz? Keep up the awesome work, Ledge. Cheers, mate. Now, this is not an act. I am a good dude. Love it over, Mr. P. Shh, the word, Kaz. Yeah, I know. Hey, SOSX, you give way too much, mate. You look like you've thrown up an orange bloody nose there. Hi, Kaz, a Coke and a milkshake for you and your little one on the weekend with the Coca-Cola sign thrown in to punctuate. Nutsukao, for those that don't know what it means the white warrior, and that's not racist. Nutsukao, he was kicking the pole and it was coming down all around him. Nutsukao. I love it. Robbie Kent is here. How's your night going, Kaz? Tony the Ram. For those guys that didn't hear me earlier, we've got our Spanish-speaking Tony the Battering Ram had thought that he was running into dead ends, so to speak, with his military enlistment. And we'd had multiple phone calls. I was trying to pull favours for him, but because of the dilemma at the moment, it was really hard to do. I hope you like the look of those shirts in the background there, Tony. And then we had a good talk last night where we spoke a little bit of faith, spoke a little bit about keeping positive, keeping our head up, so to speak. Then he gets a phone call today. Are you ready to go in the next couple of weeks, but not army, go to RAF, but we'll give you what you want and send you intelligence? And he said, yes, please. I'll take that. The door that came to him rather than him knocking on the door that wouldn't open is a logical choice. Well done. I can't wait to see the results. And also today, I'm going to let you know, for the people out there like Mr. Bryce, just go easy for a second, team. I had one of the most moving moments this morning. What happened, Kaz? I'll tell you right now. Basically what occurred was a few days ago, I turned up to the school to drop my child off. There was a good-looking gentleman with a good-looking lady there, both really dressed well, and kids that looked very meek. What happened was, I said to them, is this your first time at the school? And they said, yes, it's our first day. The kids didn't even look up, and they went inside. No worries. I saw him again today, and I said, mate, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself? Where are you from? And then I realised there was a bit of an accent there. And he said to me, because there was no one else around, I've actually just got here from Afghanistan. So basically, if you were a serving member right now, this guy and his family fled from, with government support from Australia, as an IT operator that had worked at the United Nations, took his family, was sponsored. They're out here. He has a lot to offer Australia, and so does his wife. They're bloody happy to be here. It's probably the first time they've felt safe in their children's lives. They still managed to have children. That's more action than I'm getting, and they're in a war zone. But yeah, what a lovely story for anyone that's been to Afghanistan. For those that don't know what we do overseas, if we were as bad a boogeyman as 60 Minutes tried to make out, why is it the people are trying to come to the country that's supposed to be so bad towards them? They're not. That's the fact, Jack. They're not. So this family's come here, and this is going to be the first generation of Afghanis where they speak English. The kids not so much at the moment, right? Because it's dangerous for them to speak English over there. And we're about to see some of the newest Australians grow up absolutely appreciating what they have in front of them. Can't wait to give him a present on behalf of the Australian family. It's going to be nice. Spartan Mouth, can we get some thumbs up there for this new family to Australia? And when he heard I was military, he was like, oh, shit. Gotta love stage 3 pits only once they're finished and not when it's raining. Guys, you get 72 hours to get a stage 3 pit down. Your hands will feel like they have the crown of Christ wrapped around them within the first 20 minutes. But you push through because you don't have a choice. You can't back out. Military training is not something you can tap out and say, I'm sore, I'm injured. We'll come and have a look at that without a quivering lip and let you know, no, you're not. I've seen that a million times. Look after your feet a bit better. Your hands are going to get sore. What did you expect? Good evening, team. 100. Just finished work time to get the 343 tips. And hands and arm of colour. Good to have you here. As much sinology as you could do there. Lauren, thank you very much there. Drunk Aussie. And Galadar, the dragon. Good to have you here too, mate. The coloured hand. Thanks, team. Thanks. You would love this guy and his wife. They look like people that just deserved a break, and Australia gave them one. Yeah. Really, really lovely. What do you think of those shirts in the background? Can we get some black hands of colour if you like the shirts? And if we go from the left, we've got the ladies one there. I only marry 343. We've got the one above it, which is going to get more artistic with the dice actually reading 3, 4, 3 on the dice. It's the way I roll. We've got the Sheepdog is on picket. We've got the 3, 4, 3 running down as number 4. And then we've got 3, 4, 3 life, nice and simple. There's some fashion in Australia that is absolutely missing for those that take their fashion with simplicity. We don't overdo it. No one will know what 3, 4, 3 means. No one will know that it's military. You get to wear it, enjoy it, and fill it out with 100 push-ups a day. Do it. I recommend it. I never want to hear someone ask, how can I improve my push-ups again, when I am 50 in less than 6 months, actually 7 months, and I'm doing 100 every day to give you the best version of me. All right? Do I watch a March Out? I'm really hoping I can. How do I watch a March Out? I'm really hoping I can. Pop Vinyl, I really don't know, mate. I really don't know. I believe they might even, I'm not sure if they send you something. Is there anyone in there that can answer Pop Vinyl's questions there on how does he watch his mum march out of Kapooka? Is there a way? Is there an online app? I don't know. She should speak to you on the phone before then, and she will let you know what's available, mate. There we go. Hands of colour. Cecilia Tran, good to have you here, mate. 3 hands. Someone's getting one on the shoulder. Hello, Sailor. Glennie Jones, finger up, and Spartan Mouth Drunk Aussie. And Aladar, good to have you here too. Robbie Kent, the keeper of hounds. Kaz, could we maybe donate the marathon stream money to the new family in Australia you met today? I don't know what their financial situation is, mate, because for him to come here and his IT, he might have been getting paid a hell of a lot too. We don't know that yet. So what I don't want to do is necessarily be intrusive into him when he's so new here and feel like, what the hell is going on? Is this a cult? But it's a great idea. It is a great idea. We've got JC at the moment who's out looking for people that would be a good fit for the marathon stream with myself, Buckaroony, etc. The tough thing is I don't want it to be someone that I identify. I want the transparency to be away from me. Okay, so there is multiple gifts. There's JC being a cop will get the chance to pick the family, and then who is greatly needing some support. It might even be the hinge between failure or success, and we step in and put our finger into that damn wall, etc. Thunder and Lightning. Hey, Kaz, found out why you said High Range in Towns was one of the coldest places you've been to. Froze my butt off on a 2 a.m. picket. Thunder and Lightning. Nutsu Cow, the White Warrior, says, you're exactly right. When they asked the question the other day, I think it was Daz that asked about cold. There is nowhere colder than wherever wherever a soldier is. We don't dress to the weather. We dress to what's required capability for the mission. And what that means is equipment that is vital to a mission always comes before the comfort of your food or of your warmth, etc., or your sleeping equipment. You don't get to take your own food outfield unless we let you take that out. We can tell you can't smoke if we want, whenever we want. All right? So just remember that. You can't wear jumpers when it's cold if we're going to be on the move. You can't wear thermals ever, unless you're in a fire patrol base. The reason is, if game on happens that quick, you're not going to get a chance to take that shit off, and before we know it, you're on the ground, saying, how dare you? Like Greta. And then we find out that you've been wearing an extra layer that you shouldn't have been wearing, and you're a heat victim. So you'll always be cold, and when you go out in the rain for 10 days at a time, even in a hot climate where it might be continually 30 degrees and your core body temperature starts to die down and becomes just an ember, eventually it gets to the stage where you can't heat up anymore. And that's when you need the hug of a man. Darren Smith, if you're out there, it never happened. It never happened, all right? Hello, sailor. How you doing? It happened. Hey, Joshy. Neuendorf. Thank you very much, mate, for the Nutsu Cow for going yellow. Thank you very much. Guys, it is so tough. When you step out into rain and it's that piddly, I've just got back from Vietnam, spat on sort of rain that's just gently coming down, and then you're sitting in it, and then you're walking in it, getting brushed up with bushes on it, and then you're sleeping in it, and then your sleeping bag gets wet, doesn't get time to dry, and for 10 days that just continues on, continues on. Stand 2, lay on your guts. Stand down, sit up. Stand 2, lay on your guts. Sentry out, laying on your guts. Ambush, laying on your guts in the middle of the night. That's where seek out and close your enemy to kill or capture him, seize and hold ground, repel attack by day or night, regardless of season, weather, terrain, where it really makes you remember what your legacy was. But I'm telling you now, infantry do not necessarily feel it the coldest, okay? Because Cav, when you're in armoured corps, or you're in tanks, or you're in artillery, the mission still has to go on. And they don't get to close down the cupola in the top. The crew commander still has to be up, chest above, looking around for obstacles, getting information from field signals, looking for fields of fire, etc. So he's going to get cold too. Raimi, all environments, not able to wear gloves because he still needs to be able to use his tools. Get it? Yeah. PDIs, setting up at always the coldest time of the day, an entire outdoor lesson for maybe one or more classes all by himself. Baikura, that's better than Kuru, which is what you get from eating dead people. Albino Nick, how you going, mate? Nice tan. Doom Guy, read the book Cold in Hell, US Marines in Korean War. So cold, morphine had to be kept liquid in medics' mouths. Yeah, I'll just store it in my arm. I'll ask him, I'm sure they're just concept images. These are concept images at the moment. We deliberately disguised some of them, so that you don't get a full understanding. We just want you to know that we're looking at probably putting out probably about a 6-shirt pack. And I'm going to talk to Lauren about that because this is about creating some passive income for 2 other people, okay? So that I can help other people out in other ways, all right? Because that's what this channel's about, is helping people in a passive way while also projecting a service to you. Robbie Kent, has anyone here done any work as an artillery observer? I've done a lot of work with artillery observers. Toddy Clark. Yeah, mate, honestly can't remember what schools they were. Not sure what that's about. Done a lightning arrow hosted, yeah, man. In the Royal Australian Engineers. 3CR. Good blokes. Always filthy. Don't understand the rank system. Always getting in the shit. Make sure you give them a job. Because if you don't, they'll find idle hands, which become the devil's playthings. Great guys. When you tell them they can have 2 beers, you're going to find some empty cartons. William Crash, Kaz, how about a shout out for the army units on the front line supporting police in the COVID battle? Yeah, well done to the guys out there getting to check out everyone's wives while eating worse food than what they're actually giving to those that are being supplied. Guys and gals, when we work domestically or abroad, there's no thanks for it. You don't need any thanks, but it's a great thing. This is going to be part of the way a lot of them, and especially Army Reservists, this might be the most continual way and some of the best PR that we could possibly do for Australia, to show you that we're not just for projecting overseas. We're meant to be for showing a hard shoulder within Australia. Okay, this also shows that the Army Reserve has a function, a practical, necessary function, while the regular military prepares for the next threat that happens when the glass breaks. Wouldn't that be a great idea for a shirt? Some broken glass there with 343. When the glass breaks, 343. Get it? Yeah, it's a stellar effort they're doing. I haven't heard any bad reports. You just have to make sure that the soldiers that are working with along civilians like that, who can get very, very sensitive, you need to make sure you pull that there is good supervision of the soldiers. They understand how to answer questions that they might get, because people won't know the difference between a cadet with Army Reserve or a regular soldier. Just like people can't tell the difference with the Israeli Defence Force as opposed to their regular infantry. So you need to give them a break, but make sure they don't get to a stage where they're so knackered that maybe their less conditioned military background might allow them to vent in a way that is not always good and can paint a bad picture for an individual. When you're wearing a uniform in the public environment, you need to remember that every person you talk to, and this is for police as well, this might be the first intimate reaction or situation they've actually had with a uniformed member. So you need to make sure that every case is case by case. You don't need to take any shit off them. Okay, and you're allowed to give them back. The customer is not right. Okay, you're still an Australian tax-paying individual who's paid to stand your own. And I'd let the guys know that too. I don't expect you to take any shit, but you come to see me if it gets complicated. Probably not me, because I'll get pretty pissed pretty quick too. Guardian, 2nd, 7th, my shouting worked. There you go. Robbie Kent, JC, are you drunk tonight? JC, you're awesome. Yeah, look at him. Look how affectionate he is. He's turning to Cuddly Bear. Spartan mouth throwing the blue hearts out there. Are they to Lauren or are they to JC? How old are you? Pop-up vinyls, just out of curiosity. Okay, moving down. Let's talk about 24 again. 24 Platoon. So today is Thursday. Okay. They will take off on Monday and they will go to Mantra hotels around Australia where they're going to be with their other buddies getting ready to start their quarantine. Right, from there what will happen is they'll fill out paperwork, etc. They won't be allowed to venture outside their hotel that night and they won't be able to get they won't be expected to be allowed to get guests to that hotel either. The next day what will occur is they'll go down, they'll sign their documents, they'll get given their PM keys number, and from there they'll put up their hand, oath or affirmation, Queen or God, and then they'll get on a vehicle that's going to take them to Kapooka on the second day. Yep. Right, so on the Tuesday, they'll all get to Kapooka and then get told, now that's the hair I want to cut first. And then from there, they'll be billeted in and they'll go into their quarantine period then. They won't actually start training straight away. And that doesn't matter if you're Air Force, Navy or Army. They'll go to those locations and from there they'll be given, I don't know, PT. They'll have plenty of time to be given instruction on how to get around the area, etc. Why are they called the 24? Who's that, mate? Any important people forget to take to Kapooka, Kaz? What people forget to take to Kapooka is a sense of humour and a great attitude. They're the only two things that can let you down. Remember, it's not specialised skills necessarily at Kapooka. It is broad brush, every topic, whether that be first aid, whether it be drill, so you know how to get around the uniform, how to wear your uniform, happy socks, it's on the thumbnail, shooting, fieldcraft, okay, throwing grenades, getting gassed. 230-8839, sir. They'll get gassed. What else will they do? I don't think they do ambushing there. They'll do navigation. They'll do customs and traditions. They'll do introductions to law. They'll do PT. They'll broad brush everything that is the skill set of every member as an Australian soldier before they go off to initial employment training, where they'll actually get specialisation, whether it be in artillery operator, whether it be in artillery observer, whether it be in RAMI, whether it be in infantry, whether it be in transport, all water transport, intelligence, signals, ordnance, etc. Engineers, steel barracks. SOS, my 5-year-old agrees with me. The 343 life shirt looks great. 343 life shirt? Yeah, nice and simple, eh? And no one's going to know what it means. I like the one of the other ones for the ladies. What is it? Lady 343. Not to be mentioned with Laddie 343. If you're the paddle boy, the cabin boy of the First Fleet. Dusty Rhodes, keep going, Pop. Head up, mate. You've got support here. Yeah, you have. JC, the Thin Blue Line. Team, this is the best community ever. You're the great people, and I respect you all. That's pretty great coming from a cop. When a policeman tells you that, that means that he has found a place where he finds comfort. You're very welcome here, and we love having you here too, JC. Jesus Christ is here. Okay, we've got Billy Crass. Kaz, what's your thoughts on Trump closing the Biden on the polls? He was always going to. Let me tell you really quickly. If you want to make some really, really easy money, go to Sportsbet. It's like $2.65 for DT to win. Biden, I think, is paying $1.53. The only way he can lose is the people that didn't vote in 2016 all of a sudden don't vote for him this year. But there's been a wave of people coming from the blue over to the red. He's going to get in. But what you're seeing at the moment is more and more desperation to try and cloud the water, to just throw hate instead of any policies. I'm not even going to talk about what's happening in New York at the moment because you get quite upset. The fall of a city. If I could say one thing, guys and gals, please don't get negative about this world at the moment. You have those that lean to the left. Sorry if I'm going to get us canned here. And what they do is they try to make it look like no matter what happens, that the world is horrible, there's nothing good about it, everything except cats and makeup tutorials suck. That's not true. The world has never been better, but we're so goddamn spoilt now that we don't realise with the absence of the wolf, okay, we're making up our own dilemmas. We're putting up with first world problems because there's a lack of third world problems, real world problems. Not to say that a first world problem is not real. You know, you can have sickness, we do have. You can have economic distress, we do have. You can have relationship breakups, I get it. But the world is fantastic. People are living twice as long as what they were 100 years ago. Almost every single baby is being born, unless it's, had a procedure. You live in a good time. You live in a good world. Good time? Maybe not. 2020. It's a bit of a write-off, really, isn't it? The opposite to good eyesight. Although, maybe with 2020 we're getting clarity on what the world is truly like. Feel free to hide the young'uns' eyes and ears from the dilemmas of the world until they're able to take it. Because there's no need for them to get caught up with the bullshit. You know, but there's never been a better time to be military, to be a police officer. Okay? To be able to, maybe not police officer. You know, JC would admit that the cuffs are truly on him more than they are on the perp these days. But is it worth fighting for still? Sab, good luck to the boys. I remember my time at Kapooka. Hated every minute of it, but I enjoyed Singo. Yeah, Kapooka's hard because it just doesn't stop. You don't know what's coming up next. The next 40 minutes, what's going to happen? Don't know. Hallway 11. Hallway 11! Someone left something insecure. Go to your rooms and tell me who it was that left something insecure. Oh, shit! And then you go in, and there's someone in your locker. The instructor jumps out on you. That's funny. Most RAF bases don't have accommodation. You sure? They've always had the best accommodation, the RAF bases. And Caladar, who's a man with a big red nose? Could be Kaz. Kaz, watch out. I know, Simon, I know. See, you're starting to believe me now when I tell you. If you say the right words, if you play the wrong tune, you get yourself in the trouble. Thoughts on the Royal Marines? They're very, very hard-working guys, Zulu, Shaka Zulu. I reckon they do too much cardio, to tell you the truth, and not enough push-ups. But those guys are the real deal, mate. You don't want to mess with them. Yeah. Shoulder JC. JC's shoulder is absolutely caned. Top clips, Navy SEALs versus SASR. Your thoughts? Navy SEALs, Delta Force, SASR, SBS Special Boat Service, New Zealand SASR. There's no difference. The people that make it into Australian SASR would make it into Delta, would make it into British Special Boat Service, British SASR, you know, French, German, whatever. they'd make it into each other's. There is nothing higher than the top tier. That's what they are. They don't fail. You know, it's one thing to have someone that you work with that goes to SASR and you go, okay, I didn't expect that guy to get in, but he get in. And then when you meet them again, there is a calmness about them that you want to take your hat off. Mucho respecto. Don't touch their hat. You haven't earned it. Okay, and there is such a calculated way they hold themselves. So professional. Always representing their unit as well as themselves, as well as their family name. They're a pleasure. But you never want to be on the wrong side of them. Yeah. I remember one guy, what was his name? He was doing a course we were instructing on in the School of Infantry, and he was going to be I'm not going to say what his name was, I nearly did then. And I remember we were at the Albion Hotel, which was a guaranteed punch on, you know, just to go in there. I think it was the barman that would hit you half the time. They hated military, you know, hated them. And we went there for a drink. I knew it was going to go to shit. I knew it. And we're looking around, we're going, well, there's more of us than what there is of them. We're fine. It's okay. So the boys are drinking away. All of a sudden, whack! This SAS guy knocked the F out on the floor. Done. The guy didn't try to hit him on the ground, just whack. Coal miner just knocked him out, one hit on the ground. And he got up and he says, did I win? And apparently he had said to the guy something along the lines of, I've never lost a fight. And then grabbed the guy on the nuts. You know, so they clearly had words with each other. And the guy just knocked him the hell out. He didn't care. He only had a little bit of facial damage. And he got up and went back to his beer. Funny bastard. Howdy, Kaz. I'm loving the streams. Micah, great to have you here, mate. Hey, have we had another member tonight? We're up to 89 before I came on tonight. I'd love to see us get to 100. You need to be in 100. If you're watching this and you don't want to be a member or a patron, whatever, we still want you to subscribe to get us to 10 billion. That's more. That means dogs have got to join as well. Just press subscribe. Be part of the family. We're here to assist you, mentor you, have conversations you can't normally have. It's a good place. Catonius, the best Roman, he's here. Good to have you here, mate. Hello, hello. JC, Mr. A, get my number from Kaz. I'll happily talk to you for hours. There you go. It's a fantastic community we've got here. I think JC is on the mother's medicine tonight. Stucco Moo. Do we have any Australian sniper team units? We've got many of them in every single battalion. They're Stacco, and we've got some very, very good ones. We've also got them in SASR. We've also got them in Commandos. We've also got them in 1 Commandos. Yep. And we've got them in Army Reserve too, I believe. Madonna with a big baby, button mouth. Always going to make sure you're all right, JC. That's good the way you look after each other. Yaros. Do officers get as much field experience as soldiers in the reserves? Ooh, it's tough. It's tough because they have modules they have to do before they actually become an officer. So they might initially do more bush, okay, when they come and do their ROBC in the School of Infantry. Remember, when they go to Kapooka, they also do that as basically a private soldier. So they'll do everything the same. They don't get to choose the corps they go to. When you decide to be an officer in the Army Reserve and you pass your OSB, etc., you still got to do all your training, and they will determine what the corps is that you're going to go to. So don't think that like an OR, you can go in there and go, this is what I'm going to do, because it ain't the case. Kane. Nutsu cow from up north. G'day, mate. I bet it's getting pretty warm up there at the moment. Kaz, if you watched Kingdom of Heaven, I have. I thought it was a good movie. A little bit hard to believe in some areas. Mate, I reckon, Tony, that you would absolutely love Dan Carlin's Wrath of the Khans. It is an audible ecstasy. It is so good. Mr. Patterson, medication some days are better than others. Yeah, true that. Some medication is so good that you just don't go on it. If you know what I mean? It absolutely is a tap out. It will take you the hell down. A good example of that, in case you're thinking, which one are you talking about, Kaz, is NDEP. You take NDEP. I was speaking to people about this. G'day, Simon Powell. Kaz, is there anything I can do to help you with the marathon stream? We're still setting it up. But when it happens, I'm going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning to get our American viewers as well. We're going to talk all day until the stream stops, and then I'll talk again until the stream stops, and I'll have people here feeding me. I'll have Aaron Dixon here. I might get some other guest speakers here as well. It's going to be a good one, and you just get to come and go as you please. I get to sit here with cotton mouth, suffering. Yeah? Just leave it going in the background. Pay $2 to the person's PayPal account, and we'll be good. There we go. Termin, I'm hoping I get my call tomorrow. I handed in my resignation today. Fantastic, Temin. That's great. He was nervous about when to hand his resignation in with only 2 weeks to go, waiting for this is the goddamn date you're going on. I know I am sorry for your experience, mate, that you're getting a little bit of the jack around, and not getting the details that allows you to be as respectful to your lovely lady who wears the boots in the mines. Yeah, that must be awesome, having a partner that gets paid more than you. Where's all this come from where there's feminists that think that men are threatened by their wife or girlfriend being more powerful? I think that's awesome. I'd love that. I'd still pay for the dinner. But I'd like to know that she's got enough quid she can look after me if I end up with a situation I need bailing with. Dusty Rhodes, I'm well, smashing down dinner Friday tomorrow, which is a great thing. Hey, we haven't read out the list. Those that are going in 24 Platoon this August are Bick the cook. We've got Scotty, Zed Scotty. We've got Kenny Bacon. He'll bring dance to your town. We've got Zach Ephron. We've got where else? We had more. We've got Zach again, McQueen. There has to be more than that. There has to be more than 6 and 7. There'd have to be. Right. People aren't really getting the memo about putting their dates down. But then again, in saying that, the video I put out a couple of days ago had 230 messages. I sat up forever answering messages. And that was killing me. I ended up going to bed and there's still some more I've got to finish, and I will do that. Got to go, family. Love you all. I'll be hungover tomorrow. Well, that's what happens when you drink 3 mid-strength beers. Bloody Raffy. Raffy cop. Go easy on the guardians of the country tomorrow, mate. It seems like it. I'm bloody keen. Mr. Patterson. Footloose. He'll bring dance to the town. Kevin Bacon. I've said before, are Islamic people allowed to like the movie Footloose? Because it's all about Kevin Bacon. You may not get it. Royal Marines are awesome. Zulu, get after it. Yeah? If you're in the UK, but don't go there from Australia. Joseph Caesar. Okay, it's got my assessment day. Have you subscribed yet, Joseph? Haven't seen your name before, mate. But with a name like Caesar, I'd love to have you here. Hey, Kaz, I got my assessment day on Monday for officer and engineers. Excellent. How much say do I actually get in what corps I go to? And do I get more of a say if I do particularly well at RMCD? Yes. You don't get much say, if any say, on where you go to necessarily. When you go for your officer selection board, etc., and you go to RMC, what'll occur is, because you remember you've got 3 classes. You've got 3rd class, 2nd class, 1st class. Right? And you can get back squatted at any one of those classes. But when you get with 1 year to go, you've got to remember, because you'll be considered a baker. What you have then is your people from ADFA all of a sudden come in, and it's like, big brother, there's an intruder. And then you guys got to start your friendships all over again, despite the fact that you've known people for 8 months already. That's a pretty big deal. It sends shockwaves. From there, they'll determine army needs. They might say, we need the best people at the moment going to intelligence corps. Then that will be the one that gets filled first. So I don't know if you get much say at all, mate, to be honest. Yep. But if you're the best, you're going to get what you want, aren't you? I was on 4 meds. One of them was benzodiazepine. I heard they're really bad ones there, Stoddy. Aren't they the ones that knocked Jordan Peterson? Yep, that's the one that almost killed Jordan Peterson. But he had some sort of allergy to them as well. There was something. Benzo's a serious shizzle. Yep. Right, much appreciated, mate. Still have 160 on the Legion. That's pretty good, eh, Mr. P? We've got 160 people in the Patreon. That's the best way for that one-on-one conversation if you need a bit more fizz. The Lurker, always great to have you here. Dusty Roads, similar to Country Roads, take me home. Kaz, can we get plain T-shirts saying "On with Kaz" and an Aussie flag on the back? We probably won't go down that way, mate. Just so you know, guys, when you actually do one of these shirts and you decide on the ones you're going to go for, it costs hundreds of dollars per shirt for them to set up the stencil that will be the way it goes. I'm looking at the moment between a couple of different companies, because the one we're going through won't put anything on sleeves. Okay, that sweatshop, they won't, unless they've adjusted, but they won't normally put anything on the sleeves at all. And I think that a shirt can look somewhat weird and plain with nothing on the sleeves. Jake Shepherd, g'day Kaz, I'm applying for a fitter armament. Reckon I'll get much say in where I get posted? It depends on how you go in the course, Jake, and who needs you the most. But as fitter armament, you'll probably go to one of the big areas like Brisbane or Townsville, I'd imagine. And if you ask for those, you'll probably definitely get it. You've had me on Xanax, so I'm sorry, a bit out of it. That's all right. We had Mr. DeBryce today. Gave a, where are we? We got a message. Okay. Wait 2 seconds, Tim. This is to Mr. Bryce, Steve. You know, he's a veteran, right? He's lost buddies on deployments that he's been on. And he sent this to me in between the haze. Oliver, please, sir, can I have some more? I'll be with you in 2 seconds, Oliver. But this is a call out to some of the Aussies that lost their lives on the deployment with Mr. Bryce, our resident veteran. Hi, Kaz. I'm sorry to bother you. You're a very good-looking man. Fake news. He never said that. But 10 years ago today, Privates Grant Kirby, Thomas Dale, both were killed in action on an Overwatch position by an improvised explosive device. I still remember hearing the 9-liner medevac call coming over the Icon radio chatter. Then 4 days later, Jared Crash McKinney was KIA by a gunshot wound at a dusty shithole called Derripet. I'm sorry to bother you, mate, but I haven't been this down. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so a quick call out to Crash, okay, to Thomas Dale, and to Grant Kirby. Almost 10 years to the day. We know how this goes, team. We're going to give him the 10-second countdown. All right. So if you just want to get off your keyboards for 2 seconds and then follow that up with a thumb of colour, okay, so we're not racist, as a tribute to not only to Crash, okay, and to the lads, okay, but also to all of those that served around and are affected to today. So for 10 seconds, they shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And at the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget. Lest we forget. Guys, when we have so many deployments, back to back, we can really take it for granted that the trips that we go on, the tours, the rotations, we can take it for granted that you're coming back. That this is all about going over, getting some bucks, getting some adventure, getting your size on, right, getting away from the missus, coming back when the kids are old enough to leave the Agogi if you're Spartan, and getting on with life. But then we always get reminded when the 9-liner sounds and someone loses their life and a family has the Army's representative go around there and let them know in these times of service your loved one is given the ultimate sacrifice. But because it's so rare, it's so hard for people to feel like people care. Because to say that you're a widow now, people would look at you like, you can't be. Vietnam was how long ago? How old are you? Can still happen now. And it's even sadder when it's in an accident. Yep. Kane, no more from you, mate. We need that for you to be spending on your aptitude testing. Nutsu Cow, thank you for the yellow yum, mate. From the north. The friend of Jay. Thanks, mate. Pretty cast. Jake Shepherd Tech for Cav. Great lots of diversity in the role. With Cav, there's so much diversity between people that want to be part of a combat corps, but also part of something where they get their hands on a vehicle and make it theirs. Pimp it out, but just not traffic it. Mr. Bryce, mate, I hope that makes you feel a little bit better, mate, that your brothers were acknowledged. Yep. Rest in peace. We all say we have courage, but the people with the most courage, I'd say, are the ones who lay down their lives for their country. And but thunder and lightning, to tell you the truth, mate, I think that sometimes the courage we talk about with military, is sometimes not courage, but it is a drill that is set up within people to respond to actions in a certain way. To me, real courage is quite often when someone does something they're absolutely not trained to do and take on the the hairy mane of the sheepdog, despite the fact they might be a dentist, they might be a garbo, they could be a farmer, and then they put themselves in harm's way to do extraordinary things with no backup. To me, that's where real courage occurs, where you have no expertise in that area. Another one I saw was an amazing one. Hey, Daniel Cherry, how you going, mate? Not too cow. One of the craziest ones I'd ever seen was in New Zealand, where a fireman went and laid on top of a little girl under a car that had been rolled over that had a burning fuel tanker on top of it. And he just laid on the little girl, and she was screaming, "Don't let me go." Her mum had already been lost in the collision. And he said, if for you to go means I've got to go, and I'm not going anywhere. And he stayed. He got burnt, and he saved that girl's life. And I believe he's like a father to her now. When I was watching that, it was like watching Golden Buzzers on America's Got Talent. You got those tears in your eyes that you can't explain. To me, that's a real heroism. I have to wait until January next year for my licence to be cleared. There you go. So we're not going to be on for too long tonight because we're here just to do a send-off for the 24 Platoon to let them know they're not alone. I'm going to crank a video out for you in the next few days. Hey, I see the 100 on there. Daniel, I didn't see that before. Are you doing the 100 push-ups a day as well? Let us know. Yeah, well, Lauren, it was a beautiful, beautiful video. Hey, good luck, new 24 Platoon, guys. I marched out 25 Platoon 4 weeks ago, and I would have refurbed your lines. Check your bed sheets for knots. Hey, Arnelli. Is it Arnelli? Quickly tell us something without giving yourself away. Tell us something, a bit of advice that you would love to give to 24 Platoon right now. Come on, mate. Come on. It won't cost you anything in ink. All over at Kaz and then some. Hey, Catonius, what do you think of the shirts, mate? You're not a big bloke, but you'd look good in one of these shirts, wouldn't you? Don't be intimidated if you've never served. These aren't just for serving soldiers, team. But what I do want is them to be the lawn mowing shirt of choice for people out as they get out of military. Oliver, please, sir, can I have some more? Hey, there's another Oliver Smith in the chat on the Pasty Chef one. It's a fantastic name. Malu, I'm close to becoming a drone operator for the Army. I want to fly the RQ-11 Raven drone on the ground with the infantry. However, I'm not sure that is where drone operator takes you. Do you know? I'm not actually sure. That would be a CO's asset, how he wants to use that in any way he wants. You know, so he will have you and tell you, I want you to provide, observation on this grid square, etc. You know, they are perfect, for doing battlefield reconnaissance and also sending out and doing battlefield monitoring, as forces are moving through congested areas before they meet their report lines, etc., clearing urban facilities. Amazing. Lachlan Day, Kaz, what were the factors that stopped you from trying out for a commission? There's no part of me ever wanted to be the boss, mate. I believe there is an absolute lack of moral courage in a lot of our officers due to fear of losing their career, and while still having the arrogance when they're talking down. So we always need good officers. And do you know when good officers appear? When opportunity presents. For an officer to stick their head out, especially with the chain of command we have now, which I have no faith in at the very top, sorry for saying it, showing their true colours shining through. If they push their head out, it's going to get snapped off. There seems to be a sense of privilege and identity that is not deserved, that is currently happening in this military at the moment. I believe they're out of their lane. They're not supposed to leave their lane. And when something goes wrong, they're supposed to step up and say it was me that did it. They expect you to take the danger, the bullets, the arrows on an operational employment, to be able to sit there, shut your mouth and take the stones and the slings, etc., when it comes from them. But then when it comes to their time to do their bit, just to be morally courageous, crickets. Yep. So I never would have wanted to be one, but at the same time, I know some fantastic ones. And I know many great ones that would be fantastic to have in a fix. And I know some really particularly good ones too. One last name's Gooley. One last name's Lada. We've got another one. There's shitloads of them. I've actually been lucky to have worked with what do you call a group of officers? A gaggle? A herd of officers? No? An arrogance of officers? I'm not sure. A scone-eating flock of officers? I don't know. But it was a pleasure working for almost all the ones I worked for. But I was very lucky. I've seen really, really bad ones. Good night, Lauren. Good night, Mr. Bryce. Sleep well, Cobber. Yeah. You off too, William. I'm still here. Lachlan Day. Kaz, you say there's a lack of moral courage among a lot of officers. What are you saying? Are you saying this is an officer-only quality? Do many diggers have this as well? No. Lachlan, I don't say that at all. If a soldier says something, argues with an officer, even if the officer is wrong, he can charge a soldier with insubordination. Bam. But who gives their lives on the battlefield? It's the OR. He has to have physical courage, section commander, sergeant, warrant officer, moral courage, but he is still lower than the lowest rank officer in the entire army. On paper, not in reality. But when an officer in charge of, his lowest rank can be in charge of 30 soldiers with kinetic capability in a battlefield, if he doesn't have moral courage, that can be very, very dangerous. His job is to take the slings and arrows despite the fact that it can harm his career. But he's got to really choose his battles as well, because that same guy might have a flame in his heart that makes him exactly who you want. An example, Lachlan, what if he is the next Rommel, but because he was lieutenant, he doesn't get a chance to have the voice that shows the invisible skills of prowess that it would have made him a success in any time of history, ancient, middle, or modern. But then he gets snuffed out at the lowest rank because he has the moral courage. Who is saying to the hierarchy at the moment, what are you doing giving equal opportunity of outcome to the human resources element of our army, letting people that cannot do the job, letting people get qualifications despite the fact that they didn't actually complete qualifications, allowing capability to be lowered to make sure that we meet the political means of and requirements of social justice warriors and identity politics. That's wrong, and it can get people killed. Or it can mean that units may be depleted because it doesn't have the staying power, because that's only correct on paper, cooked books, but then we get an operational tour and we don't actually have the tools we thought we had because we were scared to report on it accurately. That's what I'm saying. Yes, me too, Kaz. I had one officer in the reserves engineers that wasn't trained in the job. What are the most important qualities in an officer from a sergeant's point of view? One is professional confidence, knowing his place, professional arrogance to an extent. He needs to be able to look at people his own age and be able to project the fact that he has actual leadership. Leadership is something that's missing. Actual leadership, Is he the person that the people in the platoon, if I took everyone's rank off, they would still go, that's still the guy I want to follow? Okay, that's leadership. That's when peers will follow someone out of choice, right, into a dangerous environment. What else? Fitness. The ability to communicate. The ability to be able to listen. To have that professional arrogance, but not in a narcissistic kind of way, so he can still open his ears and listen to the platoon sergeant who has far more knowledge on most things than he does, including his own qualifications, that tells him, sir, this might not be a good time to do that. Or maybe it's a good time we have a cup of coffee. Or maybe we should have a chat before you talk that way. Or, sir, do not talk to these soldiers at the section commander level in an office just one-on-one. Especially if it's to do with discipline, make sure that I'm there. Or, boss, I know a little bit more about this situation than what you do. Let me take care of it. Or, boss, this is not the time for you to yell at the men. That's my job. There's a lot of things. Platoon commander, don't do PT with the soldiers if you're not fit enough and you look like a bag of shit. Boss, do not go out and drink with the soldiers. Do not get too familiar with them, because if you don't have that said leadership, you might end up getting a knuckle duster by the end of the night. And I've seen that happen too. Yep, when officers try to stay out with the boys and eventually, they get clocked. Okay, so do you think that structure of the organisation silence OR's voices too much? I do in some ways. Junior officers given too much voice when potentially NCOs have more to offer. No, I don't think so, Lachlan. I don't think so, because I see a lot of people get on really, really well. Platoon sergeants that earn the respect of the platoon commander, who earns the respect of the platoon sergeant, and then that goes down and they become a winning entity, a winning franchise. The morale is high, the platoon stays out of the shit, and then when something goes wrong, they get to ask for favours that are normally granted. Okay? So we have to earn our hit points on the ground. Sometimes when a soldier speaks out of place because he doesn't know what the F he's talking about, because he's at the very lowest rank and doesn't even know he's wrong. When you speak to, say, DT in the USA and people are saying he's stupid, you go, yeah, right, okay, I'll give you a list of 1,000 things that he's not, right, and that's one of them. But when someone with absolutely no responsibility has a list of things that'd be a great idea to do, but then you go, okay, you can come and do the job for a day, and then they're, well, what do I do? How do I do that? You go, yeah, that's right. The platoon commander doesn't get a chance to be wrong. He does in front of the platoon sergeant, but the platoon sergeant should hide his errors from the captain, okay, the 2IC of the company, and from, the major, because once he starts to wonder, does this guy know what he's doing wrong? He might actually start to question the entire team, command team, within a platoon environment, or signal squadron, or troop, etc. I like the fact that I want my boss to succeed. I'll do whatever I can to make him succeed. Yep. Support the ship. Tommy Crow. Got to go, guys. Have circuit training. No better training than circuit training. Make sure you don't use your back when you lift. We're going to get out of here too, team. Doom Guy, I have zero real military experience, but I have thought humility would be first and foremost for an officer. Save the arrogance until you have experience. Yes and no. Humility is good, but there's a time where there is no room for humility. There is time for the platoon commander to get up and project strength. You know, he always must look like he's right, because remember, when he says, go now, you know, that session commander is following his lead, whether it become from radio, whether it come from voice, or whether it come from a hand signal. When he puts his hand up, when he stands up before a line of departure and holds the bayonet in the air and puts on his rifle to let you know we're going to close with the threat and take his ground, you can't be second guessing that boss. You need to know that what he said to the fire support is going to be in place. You need to know that everything is that we can't lose. You should always think you can't lose. Yeah. And once the event is over, that's when the platoon commander shows humility. Comes and sits down, puts an arm around a soldier. G'day, mate. Great job back there. Split your pants, did you, Robbo? Or whatever it may be. Well, I'm going to get going so I can say goodnight to my little lady. Kaz, Luke, how is chat overseas off to Kapooka on Monday? Is he on your list? Kaz, Luke Howell is in chat. Where is he? Lukey Howell. I'm sure his name is on here. 25th and 24th. We've got Jake Italiano. We've got Zach Reeves. We've got... your eyes are glued on, Kaz. We've got Zach McQueen. We've got Kenny, bring dance to your town bacon. We've got Zed, beam me up Scotty. We've got Bick, New Zealand accent, Cook. And we haven't got Lord Howe. Lord Howe Island. Luke Howe. He has the force. Luke Howe, 24th. What are you going to have for your last meal, mate? KFC seems to be a choice that many pick. Maybe eat some Kraken. Something that you're going to miss the most by going for 3 months. You know, eating basically off Sizzler food. Nathan, you made it. Good to have you here, mate. Lukey Howe, pretty exciting. It's good to. I can't wait to hear that you are going to see at least one natural born quitter. There's always one at Kapooka. You go, what were you thinking? You want to give up that quickly? They're already mentally beaten. Basically, the day they get there, you think all the people on the channel from In the Trenches with Kaz that would pay money to be on the platoon right now to be able to go, and here you are already want to tap out. What happened on the bus? Anyway, Rebecca, mentoring sessions to get us ready. It lets you know, Rebecca, that you're part of a family before you go, while you're in, and when you get out. That's why it's important we pay particular attention to people's discharge. You know, so you know it's not just once you get in. It's when you get out, the safety net is still there for you. What was there? Thanks, SOS. I hope you have the force, Luke. Give up the food now, and it will be easier. No, it won't. Hide some lollies and shit inside your civilian bag, so when they go, I go and get this out of your civilian bag now at week 3 or 4, you can go and stuff your face with lollies like you're a kid at a party. Get that sugar hit. That's what a lot of you is going to miss. Okay, is just being able to give yourself a sugar hit during the day, being able to go and get a coffee when you want it. Understanding what you're going to be doing in 2 hours. G'day, Kaz and crew. Jay Hayes, West Side, not cerebral palsy. Good to have you here, mate. We're about to get out of the village, actually. What do you think about the shirts there, Jay? Would you wear one of those? We're going to get rid of, naturally, the white around the dice there. It's the way he rolls. Right. Anyway, when we get off, team, think seriously becoming a member. Let's get to 100. Thank you very much for the donations of dineros and sesterces. Thank you very much for donating your time on this off-pay week for so many. Thank you very much for supporting those from 24 Platoon that are about to step into the dark, unawares of what they're going to be like for this total upskill, for this creation of the different better version of themselves. Remembering that no one we know that joins the military ever regrets joining. I've never met a person that's regretted it. I know plenty that have regretted trades. I know plenty that have regretted university. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with trades. They're awesome. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with uni. It's awesome. As long as you've done the homework and it's a calling, just like the military is to you. I don't question someone when they want to go to uni if it makes sense. They shouldn't question you if it makes sense. All right? Hey, there we go. TG, welcome to the Great Unwashed. Welcome there. Can we get some thumbs up to the new member? That you've made it in the top 100, mate. Well done. Nutsu cow. One day when we've got many, many more, you'll always remember you're in the top 100 and you're going inside the book. Well done, mate. We've got a few promotions coming the next few days. Rhinopolis, Hands of Colour, Simon Powell, both. Guys, gals, when do you want your next stream? Monday? How about a video in the next 3 days? Somewhere between tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. How often do you want stuff up? It's your channel. Half the time, my eyes are falling out of my head from being a dad, from dealing with my own shit. But I guarantee you one thing. I always feel better for being on. Black thumbs matter. Catonius. If you would like, because we are in different times, if you would like a Sunday stream, we can do that. Do you want a Sunday night stream? His name is Brutus. Brutus let down Caesar. E2 Brutus. Matty Shepherd. As much as possible, I found all the stuff you do for us so useful. Cheers. What I don't want to do is run out of fuel. And what I mean by that is your fuel. I want you to know we are the Forever Channel. I want you to see there's things always changing. When we actually come out with these shirts, I've got a plan that they'll come out for the package deals where they come out, we order 3. So that way we can lower the price, because then there's 3 shirts going out to people, so you're not paying, $10 per shirt for delivery, because that's how much Sydney Post is charging at the moment. $11 for a t-shirt in a packet of plastic. It's disgusting. I can get a carburettor from Germany, all right, and have that here in 24 hours. It's disgusting. Sunday sessions. Sunday. I love Sunday. Lauren, Kaz, Brutus the Deerhound is sick. He's Will's dog. Oh, really? Shit. Will. His name is Brutus Lauren, 55 kilos of sookiness. I love the hound. And apparently, if anyone else out there, put a hand up if you're going to buy a dog soon. Some news on the street is the reason why dogs are averaging out at $5,000 a hound at the moment. That's all going to change soon, because there's so many puppies inside. Those 6 boobed puppets, those dogs, are in their guts at the moment, and they'll be coming out in October. So the price of dogs is going to fall again, okay, in October if you're after a puppy. I am. I'm getting one for my little girl. That's a great name, by the way. It is a great name. Person that has to waiver may be fitter than the person that has to do one and just meets the PFA score. But you know what? It's not just about fitness, man. It's not. Please, always remember that when you think that you're a better applicant than someone else, maybe you are. But other times, there's more to it. You might be better at them at fitness. They might be more healthy with you. They might not have some of the physical things. They might have scored better than you in the aptitude test. There's a lot of reasons why they might have performed better than you in the psych. So please don't ruin your own journey by comparing yourself to others. Otherwise, you might just create fake news that just gets you down. All right, team? Mucho respecto. love and well wishes to you and 24 Platoon. Spend this time with your family, the ones that have been there for you, the ones that believe in you. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you for Thursday. I'm going to diddy mouth in the village, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I might go and watch some Netflix or some YouTube. I hope you're good. I hope you're feeling a little bit better, Mr. Bryce. Thank you very much, directors. Has anyone seen Fugly? I haven't seen Fugly for a while. I hope he's okay. I might check up on him. See you later, team. Thumbs up for 24 Platoon. Represent. I'm going to see you soon. And Kaladar, peace all. It's been real. I'll message you some questions later, Kaz, and I'll answer those said questions. Rhinopolis, the Black Hands trying to open the coke because the policeman and the soldier back up the coke. Dusty Roads, night mate. Michael Stein, the Big Tool Simon, and Yaros, not Euros, because that'd be a kebab. The Doom Guy, always looking up on life. Guardian, Hands of Colour, Diversity and Thumbs Up. Chronic, Night. Daniel Cherry. See ya, Kaz. 24 Platoon, go get it. Get in that bear pit. And by the way, everyone, Dave D gets in the bear pit tomorrow. This is easily the best channel on YouTube. I love it. And we didn't get cut off. It's all about the content. Stoddy, sleep well. The medication will get him through the night. Night, Miss Lauren, thank you for everything. Night, Night B. And good night, girls and boys. And you too, Jim Bob. B. Weston, g'day, mate. I thought it said Weinstein there, B. Oh, look at that hand. Ryan, that one doesn't look as healthy. That's a burn hand. Night, Spartan Mouth. Hard yakka. Good night, hard yakka. That's what I always say as I put the axe back in the log.
Such a precious gift to me. The salty breeze and the wind.
The last message would be, if I was in 24 Platoon, I'd take my comfort very seriously. I'd have some really good sleep-ins, drinking Coca-Cola beside the bed. I'd have the dog in the bed as well, give it a hug, get some video of you and said dog, or cat, and really look at who's going to miss you the most and spend the time with them. Don't spend it at home. Take them to a restaurant, unless you're in Victoria. Good night, everyone. Mucho respecto, and not too cow.